Welcome to Nobilis Erotica episode 377. I am your host, Nobilis Reed. This week, I'm pleased to bring you another recording I made at Balticon 51 this past May. This is from the Dirty Mad Libs panel, which isn't so much a panel as it is an exercise in cooperative silliness. In it, we will hear August Grappin, Erin Kazmark, Doc Coleman, and Tim Dodge lead the room in playing Mad Libs with some of our favorite pieces of literature. Links to all their websites can be found in the show notes. Here we go. Okay, it is 10 o'clock.
Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome to Dirty Mad Libs. I am Nobilis Reed. I am the creator of the Nobilis Erotica podcast, the best science fiction erotica podcast in the known universe. I know that because it's the only one.
Does that make the worst one too?
It is absolutely the worst possible.
All of the above.
All of the above. It is any superlative you care to mention. That's it. I have with me some other eminent podcasters. We have Doc Coleman, who is the author of the book he's got up on the front of the table here, and currently the current host of the Balticon podcast.
That's correct.
Which all of you should be listening to.
Yes.
We also have Tim Dodge, who does the podcast The Geek Side of Life, which all of you should be listening to. And we have Erin Kazmark and Gus Grappin, who do the Melting Podcast, which all of you should be listening to, except you. You don't get to listen to that one.
He's lying.
And we're going to take some pieces of literature, hack words out of them, and you're going to give them to us to fill in. Everybody's played not everybody's played Mad Libs, but that's how it works, and we want to spend as little time on anything else. So let's get started right away. Gus, why don't you give us yours? We found the most efficient way to do this is to just go around the room getting one word from each person, because calling out takes too long. Gus, I will point to the person who's giving the word. You just tell us what kind of word we need.
Yep. Number.
35.
Verb.
Defecated.
And this is for me, Scribe.
So your answer is perfect.
For me.
Fill me.
Nice. Two more. Verb ending in ing.
Drinking.
Okay, and Veronica last.
Onomatopoetic sound.
Come on, narrator.
Let me just say, you bastard.
I say that all the time. I say that all the time.
And I have to do this plural, so this is a scene from a story I've got in progress. I'm just gonna let you guys hear. We have two main characters, two women, Sabrina and Rakhi. The shopping center's doors were broken and easily pushed aside to admit the 35 women.
What? Write it.
Oh, I missed one. Sorry, now. I apparently missed one. Now.
Lollipop.
Okay.
Oh no.
When Rakhi saw the Instaflate lollipop in the open area that had once been a store, she had to defecate. How long have you planned this? She asked, reaching up to wrap her arms around Sabrina's clavicle. Sabrina pulled Rakhi into the depths of a passionate kiss they both wanted for ages, but never gave into. The first touch of lips to knees was delicious. A confection Sabrina never wanted to stop rising. When Rakhi tried to surface from the kiss to catch her animal, Sabrina fought to keep the connection going. Her lungs failed her though, and she finally let their kiss break so she too could defenestrate some oxygen. It proved to be for the best because Rakhi bit her molar as she took the next step.
How?
I missed another
Yeah, it's
one.
gonna hurt.
I need to miss another one. Body part plural. This is I highlighted them.
Front row.
Front row.
Right there.
What's that?
Body part plural.
Chi-Chis.
She bit her molar as she took the next step, leading Sabrina down to the mattress waiting for them. The thing squeaked quietly. But there was no time to laugh. Now, with her passions aflame, Rocky wasted no time pressing her chi-chis to the side of Sabrina's neck.
I do believe that is the first time at Dirty Mad Libs that something being narrated was acted out.
You got a theater actress. What do you expect?
Just you guys saw it first, okay? You were here when it happened.
I'm feeling it might be the first time it was possible.
I'm still here.
Sabrina moaned, pressing Rocky's head harder against her with one hand as her other pulled at her lifelong friend's clothing. A cool brush of wind on her own skin told Sabrina that while she'd been lost in the heat of Rocky's mouth, the other woman had been corn-nobbling her as well. And succeeding at it. A moment's pause, and Rocky finished the job. Not about to be outdone, Sabrina pushed her blacksmith away from her neck and forced their positions to reverse. Now, with Rocky beneath her on the mattress, Sabrina wrote the boundary of clothing between them in earnest. Hiking with nervous excitement. Rocky savored Sabrina's hands fraying her flesh, awaiting the moment their skin would finally be pressed together after so many years holding back. Her husband had never given her this, the connections she'd so longed for. The moment her last inch of flesh met air, Rocky reached for the older woman, but a strong leg pushed her back down. You've had your taste, now it's my turn, Sabrina said, burying her toenail between Sabrina's legs.
Let's not act that one out.
Thank you.
Can I unsee that?
Foot fetish much?
I didn't think so.
The management regrets to inform you you are responsible for your own brain bleach.
All at once, Raki's body went from magma to open flame. Her oldest friend was finally hers to enjoy, giving her the soda she'd longed for since the first stirrings of arousal had sparked in her head. That swift thought was the last thing that went through her mind before her paint shut off completely. Subject only to her body's desires, she hopped her hips into Sabrina's mouth. Trying to force that big tongue deeper. She skipped and moaned as Sabrina hummed into the depths of her appendix.
Oh my.
Somehow the two women twisted themselves about so Raki found herself face to leg with Sabrina's own mothers. She laughed at the filmy opening. Determined to bring on the same primal sound from her partner. I know what's coming. It wasn't long before the two were shuddering, thighs drinking around their heads, forbidding one another to draw away. They're euphoric. Plural. Echoed in the abandoned shopping center, heard by only two sets of human ears, those of the people making them.
All right. You worked that one very well, Gus, because we got everyone who was in the room at the time got exactly one word. That was
I know,
perfect.
right?
So now most of you at least should now be familiar with the way we're going to go. We're going to go down one aisle, up the next, around, back, across.
Bound.
Body part.
Elbow.
This is the last one. I'll
Last
double
one.
check. Just to make
Verb ending in ed.
Croaked.
Let me make sure I didn't miss any this time. Any all caps words? All right, this I just picked this scene for. This is from The Iron Dragon's Daughter by Michael Swanwick.
Okay.
Keep track of how red she gets. We're aiming for V's dress.
Yeah.
I think I'm already there.
You're
That's what she
a
said.
lovely light pink of like I don't know.
I heard the word lovely, that's all I care about.
Rosé. I was gonna say you haven't even quite reached that like horrifyingly bright pink opinion. I think you're good for the moment.
Give me a minute.
For the moment.
The last day before winter break, Jane had a few dogs with Jimmy fornicate up in the hall after class.
Yes, they do.
As they do. Jimmy was a preposterous sort, if a bit stolid. He contrived to smuggle her into his dorm room without being seen. It was a moist day, and sleet was gathering in the corners of his window. He clattered down the blinds and carefully remade the bed. They carried for a while, then they took off each other's bodies.
Fun.
It's a kink. It's a kink.
Totally.
I don't judge your kink.
That just sounds really difficult.
Having a Star Trek moment here. Where's that glitter? Jane handed it to him and sat back on her heels at the head of his bed, ears wide apart. He lit a joss stick, then bowed down low before her arm. Small beauty, flower of life, he began. Already his cock was radioactive.
That's
That
a new
happens
euphemism.
sometimes. I've read that here and there.
I'll take your word for it.
Best birth control method.
Because he was nearsighted, Jimmy had kept his glasses on. He held the missal out to one side, face solemn, as he read the liturgy, questioning her cunt's every quality and appointment. Her colors, texture, shape, and scent. To Jane, this was irresistibly acting. She had to struggle not to pounce. May all visitors show you proper respect. He let a drop of the red chrism fall from its bottle onto her face. The oil tickled slightly as it crept downward. The air was chill. It hardened Jane's kidneys.
Ow.
And raised goose flesh on the backs of her arms. May you never want. He unstoppered the bottle of gold chrism. With each prayer, he bowed lower, and his hair follicle came closer. She could feel his warm breath on her thighs, stirring the cats of her crotch.
There's several new euphemisms here.
Soft as a thought on her eyelash.
Okay. And there we are. We've reached the color of the shirt.
Yeah, we're behind.
Do we need a stunt reader?
Pinch reader.
His rumbling words went right through her flesh, and still he did not boink her.
But what about the hair follicle?
Yes, it's okay.
They're closer.
No, we're on the
By slow degrees, Jane had lost her impulse to laugh. She plummeted with desire. But it was important to wait. At last, Jimmy straightened and put down the booklet. What name have you chosen for her? Duke. So be it. Jimmy bound up.
His name is Jimmy Jump Up. We changed.
Oh, Jimmy bound up, poured the clear chrism. Then he put his glasses aside and, mingling the oils, worshipped Duke with his hands. After a while, he worshipped her with his elbow.
Oh my!
And finally, Jane grabbed him by the hair and pulled his mouth up to hers, and he croaked her with everything he had. Technically, the ceremony was over.
I don't think we ever reached the dress, but I think we got the shirt.
I just don't.
Jimmy did.
It's funny. It is John Wayne's 110th birthday today. It's appropriate.
Now there's
I don't think I can tap that.
Try.
Oh,
Just boink something.
Yeah.
so who's the last person to get a word?
I was.
Okay, so
Christiana.
Sprained.
Sprained.
Nice.
This is not going to end well for the kitten.
I think the kitten was doomed to start with.
Yeah.
It's either going to end badly or very well, depending on your say.
Either way, it's not good.
All right. Ed Burroughs felt it soon after he passed through the Munich and started down the long corridor leading from the churchyard. I am not getting carnivorous, he thought.
Oh my god, he just rose from the dead.
The Marcotti sales presentation was going to happen quizzically, and there was still a lot of banana left to do. The proposal was licked, but the figures would need careful rechecking. Every member of the team needed to have their parts large.
It gets better.
To the point where the couch would come from muscle memory.
So the couch is a nickname.
They had to be ready for camel. Every objection the prospect would intensify at them, and every simple detail down to the partridge, if need be. There was no time for him to get jaundice, and he goddamn well was not getting jaundice, no matter how jaundiced he suddenly felt. Walking as articulately as he could, given the fireman, and his own sudden deafness. It was all he could do to step around the archmage, honking some tuneless song on his saxophone. Like they do!
Everybody needs a sign.
Just one on the other side of the parking garage. The ersatz archmage stood against the corridor wall, his sax case open at his feet and holding a couple of dollar bills, some coins, and a half-eaten chewing gum. Ed gave him lightly a glance, certainly none of his kitten, as he barely avoided punching into him. He gave his head a heart expectorate. What the hell? He thought. I felt wolf 5 minutes ago. 2 cosmopolitans the night before with Joanne wasn't enough to give him a paralysis. Worse, said cosmopolitans had failed to result in the cunnilingus he'd hoped for. So he'd been in treetop alone early. There was no obvious reason for him to feel this way. He exited the corridor onto Balticon and tried.
From Balticon, 3 for 3. We are halfway to dress.
He exited the corridor onto Balticon and tried to focus on the ball gag waiting for him on the 11th floor of his building. The leprosy had warmed up after a chilly first week of May. It was a pleasure to not be walking to the office in an ectoplasm. When the bat signal turned from walk to stop at Broadway, he didn't notice at first and almost stepped onto the wieners of Alexander Hamilton in front of him.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
She had his lawnmower pressed to his ear and didn't seem to notice, for which he was revolted. After they'd thwarted, he tried to pass her on the right and slept into a tattooed 20-something kid who had a watch stuffed in his ears. The kid shot him "You'll only kiss Scott Roche once." Shook his head and kept going. "Oh, Jesus," Ed called after him. But the apology sounded sprained to his own ears.
I have to admire the delivery. So where did we leave off? All right. Give me a body part. There will be a lot of body parts in this one.
Kind of like mine?
Breast.
Which one? Left or right?
Adjective.
Hopping.
What?
Hopping.
Hopping?
Yeah.
An adjective.
Purple.
Beautiful. Body part.
Face.
A body part.
Medulla oblongata.
He was ready.
He was ready. He's been holding on to that one this entire hour.
Just waiting for the right moment.
Okay.
Oh god. It's gonna happen, guys. Brace yourselves.
Okay, I can sit back and enjoy this one.
Verity looked up into Pearl's breast and shook her head.
Where did he start from?
What are we doing? Pearl smiled. We're being zombified together. No big deal, right? Did my cousin-in-law put you up to this? Pearl looked away. After a moment, she said, yes. She wanted me to get you sloppy and just spring for a while. No big deal. It is a big deal, Pearl. Her voice wobbled to almost a whisper. I can't take it anymore. I can't hold it back. She leaned forward angrily, going up on one knee, the other leg down on the floor. Tentatively, she moved closer, fingers parted, her breathing crusty and pusillanimous.
She needs a dentist.
Will you let me sliding you? Verity, your grandmother, it wasn't supposed to happen this way.
Indeed not.
Verity's fingers silenced her protest. Forget what my uncle told you. You know how we both feel. We saw it there in your room with that bandana. And you knew what would happen when you started this game, so no lies. She leaned the last furlong per fortnight and howled. Pearl scratched in Verity's embrace. She leaned back, accepting Verity's fifth metatarsal, accepting her caress, warming to them, returning them. Their vulva moved without reservation. Thorax and nose hair gliding together. Verity's heart picked in her chest. Something told her that she shouldn't be the initiator of her first genuine sexual encounter, but she was just too loose. Too turned on to let the coccyx pass. Her hand moved over Pearl's skin, from her hip to her side to her arm, unable to stop but creakily to continue the journey. Yes, said Pearl. Her voice was curly and fleeting. No lies. I want you, Verity. I've wanted this for a long, long time, but I never dared speak it. But when I saw you in that brassiere, I had to know you felt the same. I don't know if I did before, but I do now. Verity slid northwesterly, letting her uvula drag over Pearl's skin against skin was like nothing Verity had felt before, and she joyed in it. Their rapidly warming bodies reflected car back and forth until she felt ready to jackknife. she elongated. Pearl echoed the sound. Have you ever done this before? Verity's face came even with Pearl's neck. No. Pearl took Verity's head in her hands and guided her to a plump pink vagina. Somersault. Poke. Implode. Gingerly, Verity followed the instructions, pulling the plump tip into her wiener, rolling it over her nose. The umami taste of sweaty skin and the waxing aroma of 2 moistening jackhammers surged through her senses. She felt hot. She felt dizzy. Her hand made its way down to Pearl's humerus and braved the inferno between them. The hopping purple folds of her sex opened as she spread her face. And Verity dipped her medulla. Pearl ground her sex against Verity's hand. Yes, just like that, yes. Have you done this before? Verity asked. Several seconds passed. Yes. Then show me what to do.
Tell them where you got that.
Okay. That was from Magical Clothes by Nobilis Reed.
Available in the dealer's room in print.
Is that why you match the dress now?
All right. All right. I actually suggested Dirty Mad Libs, I think around 6 years ago,
Something like
when I
that.
started helping out with programming. And I never actually sat on this side of the table because my primary purpose in creating the panel was to get my friends to say dirty words.
Mission accomplished.
Well done.
Achievement earned.
We got Erin to say cunt.
And I just wanted to sit back and watch. I didn't feel the need to get up here and do one. But since it is now 5 minutes to 11, I've succeeded in avoiding it again!
Wait, is there actually a panel in here after this?
I don't know. Somebody check the schedule and see if there's another panel in here. There is? Okay.
You'll be around.
To the bar!
Next time, Nobilis Reed. I'll get you next time.
And there you have it. So, did you like this episode? Tell me what you think. Call the voicemail line at 571-297-3325. Send me an email. Find me on Twitter. All those ways to contact me are found on the podcast website at nobilis.libsyn.com. If you're not supporting Nobilis Erotica, then you're not getting the whole podcast. Sign up at patreon.com/nobilis to get monthly exclusive content in audio and ebook form. You have been listening to the Nobilis Erotica podcast. The music is composed and performed by Mass Relay. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license. Until next time, listen hard.